Today we have one presentation, the Grand Junction Economic Partnership Annual Update by Curtis Engelhardt, the Executive Director. Morning.
Morning. Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you so much for a little bit of your time this morning to talk about GJEP and what we've been up to in 2025. Again, I'm Curtis Engelhardt, Executive Director for the Grand Junction Economic Partnership. And just want to recognize the strong partnership we have with Mesa County, which allows us to carry out our mission, which is centered on economic diversification and quality job creation. So just a quick level set here. So GJEP, we have 4 strategic goals and initiatives. The first one is to drive the creation of primary jobs through targeted business attraction and expansion. We're seeing a lot of action in these following industries here: aerospace and aviation, manufacturing and tech, healthcare, medical, transportation, logistics, outdoor. But we always say and more, because we want to work with those businesses that are going to bring primary or quality jobs to our area. And for us, a quality job is anything that pays over the median annual earnings in Mesa County. Secondly, we want to promote Mesa County's business assets in key industries through proactive business recruitment. I'll talk a little bit more about that in some future slides. And then third is to assist business relocation and expansion in community by aiding in customized business service packages. We understand that every prospect or business is unique and that their needs are unique. So we try and really create that customized business service package for each business that we're working with. And I'll show some slides that highlight that as well. And then lastly is collaboration. Collaboration is key when it comes to economic development. And so we have a list of our economic development partners here that we work closely hand in hand with. Here's a quick snapshot of Mesa County. We really want to take a look at just population, unemployment rates, labor force to make sure that we're on the right track. And we're doing well. We're doing well. So civilian labor force is just under 79,000. Unemployment rate sits at 3.7%. State unemployment rate's 3.6%. Historically, we have always been quite a bit higher than the state, but coming out of the pandemic, we've been right around the state average, sitting at 3.7%. 2025 was a unique year, I would say, when it came to economic development. We saw businesses take a little bit of a wait and see approach, I would say. A lot of unknowns at the federal level, but we also still saw some really great commercial development activity happening, and this map highlights that. This isn't all of the commercial development activity. However, it highlights a lot of the projects that we saw. The ones highlighted in purple are the ones that GJEP directly supported. So a lot of good commercial activity happening in 2025, and we expect that to continue in 2026. So I want to highlight a couple of events that we do on an annual basis in Mesa County to really highlight and drive home economic development and those smart growth strategies. The first one is the Site Selector FAM Tour. Mesa County was a great partner with this for us. Historically, GJEP has gone to a lot of trade shows throughout the nation, which can be very time-consuming and really expensive and doesn't have a ton of ROI. And so we did a bit of a pivot in 2025, and we brought in site selectors. And a site selector has a large portfolio of businesses that they represent who are looking at either expanding or relocating. So we thought we would bring them in and we would showcase why it makes sense to do business in Mesa County. So we did industry tours, we did site tours, we did a tour at the university and some different presentations to really highlight that. And then we ended with having our site selectors present at our economic summit to really show the community at large what are we doing well and what are areas we can improve upon as a community. So it was a very successful event. We'll be doing it again this year, but we have moved this event to October, so we're not doing it at the same time as our economic summit, which was a scheduling nightmare, but what needed to happen so we could get some good feedback from them as well. Speaking of our economic summit, we will be doing that again this year, April 23rd. This is an all-day event. It's sold out the last 3 years, and we're excited to bring it back again this year. this is a great opportunity to really to get the community involved on those smart growth strategies and ensuring that we're moving in the right direction from an economic standpoint. We'll have 2 keynotes. We'll have a morning keynote. We'll have a plenary session. We have 6 breakout sessions. We do a networking event, an award ceremony, and then end with a lunch keynote. So I'm really excited about this event this year, and we expect to sell out again. And in fact, this morning, looking before I came over here, we have about 2 tables left for sale. So moving forward on that. So what does all that mean? Getting into just our economic impact and return on investment, we always want to showcase to our community at large what it means to have an organization like GJEP in our community. So this is more of our report card, if you will, and shows the community at large how we're doing. So 2025, we directly helped create 224 net new jobs with 943 additional jobs projected. That projection number comes from businesses who are expanding or relocating. They're on a hiring schedule, so they're not hiring everybody at once. It's over a multi-year period is where that 943 comes from. Of the 224 net new jobs, the average annual wage for those was just under $68,000 annually. So when we talk about the quality job creation, the average annual wage for Mesa County is about $57,000 annually, so we're punching above our weight in that regard. And then when you take the induced and indirect and direct impact from our employment impact and our capital expenditure impact, our total economic impact is just under $195 million, which is pretty significant for our community and a record for our organization. And we can confidently tell our investors that for every $1 invested in GJEP, we generated $202 in economic impact. So breaking down those numbers a little bit more, the yellow bar shows jobs created over the years, as well as the average annual wage. And you can see that job numbers continue to remain healthy, and average annual wage for those GJEP supported jobs continues to increase year over year. This breaks it down a little bit more. So the blue line is your Mesa County average annual wage over the years. The orange line is GJEP supported companies' average annual wage. In 2025, we were about 10% higher than the average annual wage. So again, really showcasing that quality job creation. Capital investment also continues to be on the rise. So this is capital investment for GJEP specific projects. We are at just over $48 million in 2025 of CapEx. So good to see that number continue to increase because again, that creates that economic activity for a lot of those ancillary industries as well. And then this is our economic impact from 2022 and continues to increase as well. So when we're looking at that economic impact, quality job creation, average annual wage of those jobs, GJEP continues to trend in the right direction. And I've met with you all before and talked in a lot of detail of how we help some of these companies. So to end this slide in this presentation today, I thought what I'd do is just put a non-exhaustive list of companies that GJEP has helped over the last couple of years, representing well over 1,500 new jobs for these companies. So we're really grateful to get to do the work that we get to do. And we would not be able to do that without great partnerships like we have with our Mesa County partnership. So I wanted to leave plenty of time for questions, but thank you for some time this morning. And I'll turn it over to you. Thank you.
Commissioners, do you have any questions this morning for Curtis or comments?
Yeah, one question and then a couple of comments. How do you calculate the CapEx? Is that self-reported or?
CapEx is self-reported, yep.
And then I just want to say thank you. It's the Grand Junction Economic Partnership, but you serve more than Grand Junction. You serve kind of the entire valley.
Absolutely.
You've put a lot of work and effort into Clifton, which is, comparatively speaking, is economically depressed in our community. So I just want to say thank you and keep up the good work. Appreciate it, Curtis.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Yeah, thanks, Curtis, for your leadership. We really appreciate it. It's nice to have you kind of back home a little bit.
Yeah.
Being able to speak to us this morning. Being on the board the last few years, it's been really informative, and I'm really proud of the partnership. We want to make sure that the economy here can provide jobs, not just for the people who live here, but also that future generation. So when our kids are growing up, they have opportunities to thrive, and they have companies that they want to stay and work for. And thank you. We appreciate that partnership.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Commissioner Daniel. I have 2 girls that are, in school district 51, and that's one of the main reasons I took this job, is because I want to create opportunity for them to either, if they leave, opportunity to come back. If they stay, there's opportunity. So thank you for those comments.
No, thank you so much, Curtis, for all the work you're doing within our community. I wanted to just step back and take a look at where we were on May 2nd, 1982 with Black Sunday. And we were in a pinch because the oil shale industry left the Western Slope. Maybe it'll come back. But at that point, a group of business people got together and said, well, what can we do to keep things from the boom and bust cycle? And GJEP has certainly stepped up to the plate over the last 40 years. You look at some of the businesses that you brought in, like Reynolds Polymer, Westar Aviation, Coors Tech, so many that you mentioned here. It's, you know, it's time well spent, and we appreciate the work. I also appreciate the conversation yesterday with the gentleman that has the potential to build a meatpacking plant here in Mesa County, Tanner with Old World Meat, and we're here to support him, and GJEP is, we met yesterday, and I appreciate you taking time to set the roadmap for Tanner.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you for getting that meeting set up.
Absolutely. Thank you.